Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Kogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go. Because we have a game we absolutely need to finish as soon as possible, and it's called Final Fantasy 16. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to give you an update on my thoughts on Final Fantasy 16. I swear I will not rant too long. But now that we are 32 hours into the game, this is probably the worst Final Fantasy I've ever played. I wish I was exaggerating. I wish that this was like me doing this for clickbait views or drama. I'm not. I'm being honest with you. I really don't think Final Fantasy 16 even is a Final Fantasy game. At this point, at the point in the game that I'm at, you know what this is reminding me of? Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within. You ever seen that movie? Probably not. But I remember back in the day when Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within came out. Allow me to explain what happened. Because this was one of the first ever major video game tie-in movies, because it was CGI art, because we were told it was set in the world with the same elements as Final Fantasy games, that this was going to be an amazing breakthrough movie. We were told that it was doing things differently, and that it was really going to blow you away, and gamers were finally going to get prominent screen time for the first time ever, and to be excited and to be hyped and all of it. We were told all these things, okay? Then when we went to see the movie, what ended up happening was, within the first half an hour, we realized something. This movie has nothing to do with Final Fantasy. It has elements. Oh, there's crystals, right? Oh, there's magic. But those elements literally have nothing to do with the games of Final Fantasy, all right? What they did is they tacked an IP, an intellectual property, onto a 3D movie to pretend like it had a tie-in when it really didn't, just to say that it was the same theme. I mean, the one theme is that they're getting power from the earth, which is the same eco theme, the same, oh my god, we're harnessing the earth's energies too much and we're destroying the planet. You know, the same theme as Final Fantasy VII, the same theme as a million other things. It was the same theme. But outside of that theme, the movie was not Final Fantasy. So everyone ended up being upset. It was a box office bomb, and no one was satisfied with that movie, all right? With Final Fantasy 16, you start off with a great feeling because you're like, wow, it's very cinematic. It's got a story very similar to recent drama epics like Game of Thrones, but it definitely has Final Fantasy elements. It's got the music. It's got crystals and magic. It's got summoned monsters, which are now called icons. It's got the chocobos, right? It's got all the iconic monsters you're fighting in combat. But as you get further into the game, at least for me, what I realized is these are all just them using an IP and not necessarily actually utilizing it in any way that's meaningful. It's just to say that it's a Final Fantasy game. They're not tried and true, you know, running themes. They're just an asset to use in the game and say, hey guys, look, no, really, this is the new Final Fantasy. Because the more you play it, you realize that they've literally abandoned everything in the game that would make it Final Fantasy. Like, every theme that actually comes from Final Fantasy is gone in this game. And at first, I was still entertained. I thought the graphics were decent. I thought the plot was getting better. And at the beginning of the game, I actually thought, hey, the combat is actually getting better too. But as I got further into the game, what I realized is that the things that I was liking about the game were diminishing. First of all, the game's pacing is atrocious. It's actually one of the worst paced video games I've ever played. The director should literally be chastised and told you don't know how to direct. Because you shouldn't be playing a game where you get 90 minutes of action and excitement and then literally 2 hours of boredom because the game is doing menial dialogue, fetch quests that have absolutely nothing to do with the plot of the game just to pad the game and break up the action. Either be good or don't, but don't purposefully extend the length of your game with junk. Half of the gameplay you do in Final Fantasy 16 is gameplay you would do on a side quest in an MMO. And it shows that the developers of Final Fantasy 16 made the MMO Final Fantasy 14 because it's obvious they had no idea how to translate that into a single-player RPG experience. I would guarantee you that most people who are really enjoying Final Fantasy 16 are liking it because they like Final Fantasy 14. Sorry, that's not the experience I was looking for, okay? In addition to the bad pacing, the combat starts off good. It does. Because it's action-based. People will say, oh, it's like Devil May Cry or it's like Nier. But as you get further into the game, you start to realize just how shallow the combat is. Because at first you got all these abilities, you're kind of overwhelmed, and you're unlocking a dash, you're unlocking the ability to transform into like an overdrive mode. You're unlocking great dodging. You're upgrading all your abilities, and then each time that you have interaction with a new element, now you have new elemental abilities, right, that you mess with. But once you get about halfway through the game, you realize none of this matters, because once you start activating and leveling up these abilities, they're so powerful that it doesn't even matter what's going on the screen. You can literally just go in a circle, Rochambeau, rock, paper, scissors. What am I doing now? Fire ability. So do this fire ability, do this fire ability. Dash, do a little combo. Okay, up to the next element. Do this ability, do this ability. Dash, do a combo. Switch to the next ability. Do this ability, do this ability. Dash, do a combo. Oh, my ultimate meter's on. Boom, overdrive. Attack, 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 attack. And now back to the first element because all those abilities recharge. Wash, rinse, repeat. You just go in one big circle like this, and you just beat everything in the game. I wish I was exaggerating, but I've almost never died in the game. If I did die in this game, it's because an enemy hits you for like 40-50% damage and you're not expecting it, which is stupid because, you know, why on earth does nothing do any damage, then all of a sudden an enemy hits you for half your health bar? It's pretty dumb. The dodging at first is important in the beginning of the game. Once you get the more overpowered abilities, you don't ever need to dodge. I mean, very rarely. Maybe in a boss fight, an extended boss fight, you'll dodge a few times, but really it's not needed. And even then, you can mash dodge, and 9 times out of 10 dodge everything in the fight anyway. You don't even have to really time it. You know, the cinematic boss fights, i.e. the icon fights or summon monster fights, are kind of neat. It's kind of like you're reenacting a Godzilla kaiju fight, where you're Godzilla and everyone else is another creature in, you know, one of these King of the Monsters style movies. And then the more I played it, I realized, actually, that's exactly what it is. Like, every monster you fight is just a monster from King of the Monsters. I just literally did a giant dragon fight. I said, that's Monster Zero. It's the same shit. It's like you're Godzilla and you're fighting every monster in a row. I was thinking about the Titan fight that I did. I was like, wait a minute, that was King Kong. Like, literally, it's tropes from other franchises, other games, and other things taped together, claiming it's a Final Fantasy game. It's not. It doesn't feel anything like a Final Fantasy game at this point. At this point, here's the deal. I want to see how the story ends. If anything, the ongoing narrative is the reason why I want to keep playing Final Fantasy 16. Outside of that, there's not a single other reason. It ain't the graphics, because the frame rate's constantly chopping up, even in combat. It's annoying as shit. It ain't the combat. The combat's boring and too easy, and I'm just mashing through everything, easily defeating it. Yesterday, I was fighting a mini-boss. It's a giant pig monster that kind of looks like a mutated Ganondorf from Zelda. I'm literally cracking jokes about roasting his buns and making hot cross buns and roasting his pig balls. And I'm just mashing through the abilities. I'm destroying this boss. It doesn't even hit me once. It literally didn't hit me once. Okay, take it back. It might have hit me once. But still, like, that's how easy the game is. This game is piss easy. And the thing is, there's no difficulty setting. I can't make it harder. I couldn't have played it on a harder, challenging setting. It's not allowed. So, the game is just, I'm sorry, it's pathetic. I can't believe that this is what they did with the franchise, because they took something that was a staple of greatness of RPGs, and they literally put it into like it's like a children's game combined with adult mature themes. It feels like in the 1990s, when everyone was trying to make their games more gritty and mature with gore and sex because they thought it would appeal. Remember when you had Street Fighter, so then when it came out, Mortal Kombat, fatalities, and girls that were scantily clad. That's what this fucking game feels like. Like they went back to the 90s to think that this is what was good about a video game. It's the polar opposite. It actually makes the game worse than the previous iterations that they've ever put out, in my opinion. And you can completely disagree, and that's fine, because a lot of my viewers apparently do. But to me, I'm playing the game, I'm like, dude, what am I supposed to be liking? I just spent 90 minutes bored to tears doing boring-ass generic combat and fetch quests that have nothing to do with the story. And now I'm into the story, and all the combat is easy as shit, just steamrolling through everything. Yesterday, there was a story boss, a character who'd been in the game for like 20 hours and was built up he was going to be a badass. Spank, spanked them. No challenge. Just spanked him. And he's gone. He's out of the story. He's dead. Wow. That was really great writing and a really great build-up for absolutely fucking nothing. So, I don't get it. I don't know what I'm supposed to be liking about this game. But I've invested 32 hours into it. I want it done. I want to see how it ends. So we're going to keep pushing forward with this game, and it has to be a daytime stream till we beat it. Then we can switch GTA from night streams to day streams. And then, and then we could do, you know, everything else that we want to do on night streams. There's a lot of retro stuff and fun stuff I want to do for my anniversary celebration coming up in August, but we got to get Final Fantasy done. So when you say, well, why don't we have an all-day Street Fighter Friday this Friday? This is why I need to push forward in this game, and I can't skip a session because we have a special event this weekend. Okay? So there you go. All right, and I have something hilarious I need to address, too. You ready for this? If you don't like the game, don't play it anymore. Really. If I don't like the game, don't play it anymore. I bought it because you told me to. Everyone insisted I play Final Fantasy 16. Even though I said I knew the month of June would be crazy and I'll already be juggling other RPGs. Insisted that I play it, so I bought the game for $70. Invested 32 hours into it. You just want me to waste 32 hours of my fucking stream time now. How many streams was that? 9, 10 streams? Just throw those away. Oh, and by the way, don't see the end of the game and don't... No, you want to know why people want me to quit it? Because they don't want me to criticize it anymore because they're butthurt about it. They can't take criticism. Oh my God, you're saying my game that I absolutely love is not perfect? Get over it. I have opinions, you do too. You can like things I don't like, and you can hate things that I do like. A lot of you don't like Street Fighter 6. That's fine. I don't mind that you don't like it. Sorry you don't like it, because I know I'm putting out a lot of content about it, but I'm not going to sit here and bitch that you don't like Street Fighter 6. Everyone has a right to their own opinion, okay? So please understand that and respect it. But don't tell me to quit the game that I've invested so much time and money into just because you don't like the fact that I'm being honest about my feelings about it. Stop being so sensitive. Not everyone likes everything, and at the end of the day, you're going to find out once you leave your comfort zone and tunnel vision mentality that everyone likes everything I like, you'll realize that it's not that way. There's actually a large group of gamers out there who don't like Final Fantasy 16. It's just that for some reason, no one's really publicly talking about it a lot. A lot of people, you can tell, took a big payout to promote the game when it came out, and all of a sudden, they clammed up and haven't mentioned the game in like a month. What happened? I thought it was the best RPG ever. Why'd you shut up about it, right? Because your payday ran out. So it's time to wake up and stop with the bullshit. Really. It's time to stop with the bullshit and understand that everyone has a different opinion and it's okay if they don't agree with yours. All right? If you have a completely valid opinion on why you like the game, good. Voice your opinion, make it known. Good for you. You have the right to do that and I will respect that. Not everyone likes everything I like and not everyone dislikes everything I dislike. But I have the right to say what I want, and I certainly have the right to finish the game. It's hilarious. Don't play it. Don't play it. No, I'll play it. Oh, I'll play it. And I'm going to beat it. I'm going to tell you what I really think about it when I finish it, because it's just getting worse the more I play it, and that's just a fact. All right? Sorry about that, the game has degraded into button mashing, and that the plot is ridiculous, and that the fucking pacing's terrible. I mean, how many more things can I validly criticize? But you don't want to hear it, right? Well, I'm sorry about that.
I got the drip going. 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 I got the drip going.
It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop.
So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean. These dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb kids.